Carrie and Tommy will launch in just a second to brighten your day. With CommBank Yellow, you get discounts and exclusive experiences. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little.
This
Is Carrie and Tommy.
Yeah, welcome to another big podcast. How are we today?
I'm
guys?
about a 2 out of 10.
2.
I wasn't going to
We're
come.
up from yesterday.
No, what? I was fine yesterday. You told everyone I was in a mood. I wasn't. But I have a cold and I wasn't going to come today. But we have a very exciting announcement that's coming
Yes.
up at 3:30. And so I came and we've got a good, incredible interview coming up after
Yes.
4. There's lots of reasons, but I've come here and I feel so sick.
Well, Carrie, you still look wonderful.
But I popped some cold and flu, the good stuff.
Did ya?
Like the actual good stuff. You know how there's a normal one and then there's a real good one. I've popped the real good one.
Did you?
Show your license, that one.
Did
To the guy in the alleyway?
Do you know what I was thinking as I pulled in to work today and I popped the pills and I used my nasal spray and I was doing all these things and I thought, remember having a cold as a kid? All you could do is rub Vicks on your chest. Your mum would get a bowl of hot water, put some Vicks in it, put a towel over your head, and then you just go through the day really with a blocked nose and suck it up. And now we've got all these amazing things we can
But
use.
you've got
What's
to
that?
do all that running around though, and stuff. So you had to go to the chemist and get it, and like the cold and flu tablets and
No,
stuff.
I didn't.
What do you
I know what you're getting at.
What am I getting at?
How that our producer went and got it.
I didn't know that.
He did. I saw it written on the...
Wow.
You're not-
I never get treatment like that.
Anyway,
Sammy's even
times
got
have
Vicks
changed.
for
Having a cold now is nothing like having a cold back in the day.
No, because
Oh,
you've got
that's Vaseline.
No, because you've got
That's your
producers.
other stuff that you're doing in your life. I needed actually
Hang on.
fix.
Why have you just brought a tub of Vaseline to work?
I use it for my lips, and it's just easier than
That's a big tub. You know you can get little lip smackers that are like...
it's just what my dad's always done. So I copied him, but I don't know now if that's what he
Do you
used
carry
it for.
that around in your pocket? That's enormous.
And you were using the same tub for your lips?
Now I feel sick.
It's so vulnerable when someone points out something that you do all the time that you realise is weird to everybody else and it's quite a normal activity. Yeah.
Up next, we need to talk about the effect that I believe, Carrie, you may have had on the nation.
Oh,
Yeah.
good or bad?
We'll talk about it next.
Carrie and Tommy.
Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Speaking of busy women, the busy woman that I sit across from had a bit of a moment when we started the show yesterday. It's kicked off a lot better today. Oh, maybe it hasn't kicked off a lot better today. In case you missed it, here's how we kicked off the show. 13 10 60. Are you up for
What are you laughing
Are
at?
you up for doing worse?
Why are you laughing?
What do you mean? Because you're funny. Why am I not allowed to laugh
I
when
thought
you
you were
say?
laughing at me like... Anyway, yeah. I
Get
felt
out of
there
your
was
own
more
head,
to-
mate.
Oh, you can talk.
Oh, this is turning into a real. This is real, isn't it? Don't just go to writing something on
What?
the paper now.
I'm not.
We're on air.
I'm waiting for you to say what you want people to call about.
Sorry, I was in the middle of doing
on with
that
it.
until you stopped me and went, "Why are you laughing? What's funny?" 13 10 60. Is Carrie in a mood? Call with questions for Carrie, and let's work
I'm
out
not in a
together
mood.
if she's in a mood.
No.
And then,
Oh, it's outrageous. Even listening to that back, I was happy.
do you want to hear?
That was a happy
Do you want to
Carrie.
hear some of the noises you made for the rest of the show? This was the rest of the show.
Oh, my God. No! Oh, my God! Okay, well, that was because you put me in a mood, accusing me of being in a mood when I wasn't in a mood.
It sounds like
There's nothing
it sounds
worse
like
than
the
being
mood.
accused of something you haven't done.
Sounds like the mood might
And then
come
that
back.
gets you really antsy, and it made me antsy. Anyway.
Moody, would you say?
No, it did make me moody. It made me defensive.
Are you moody now?
Oh, no, I'm defensive again. I couldn't be happier.
Couldn't be.
Sorry, I feel like death warmed up, but I couldn't be happier.
Well, did you know? Because it might have actually affected everyone in this great nation of ours. Because there's a thing called emotional contagion. Do you know what that is?
Or something to do with the fact that you catch someone's emotions. I'm
Yes, you
guessing.
can actually catch someone's mood just by being near them. It's a phenomenon called emotional contagion. It's driven by your mirror neuron system, a network in your brain that mimics others' emotions. And I did start to think at the end of the show yesterday, I started to feel a bit moody myself, and I think it might have been your doing. And Jesse, because you said you took it on a bit.
Very moody, yeah.
Yeah. And so I was wondering on 13-10-60,
What?
did Carrie's mood yesterday, because our callers called in and agreed that you were in a mood. One even recommended you get medicated.
No, that producers
happened.
made them all say that I was in a mood.
Producer Sammy, you're on the phone.
We never dictate what our callers say.
But that's such a lie. Sometimes you say to them, can you just say Carrie's in a mood?
The only thing we ever get them to say is, what's up?
Yeah, that's a good one. And Carrie, that's put you further in your mood. And actually, it's getting contagious again. I'm feeling a bit
I mean,
flat.
there is something in that because if you think about sometimes when you hang around people that are really flat often and then you leave and you do feel flat yourself, like it's quite, I think if you care about somebody too and they're sad, then something, even though it's not your sadness that they're carrying you leave quite sad, it makes sense that you would catch other people's moods. I
Yes.
wonder how close you have to be to that person for it to affect you.
This is what we need to find out. 13-10-60, give us a call. Yesterday, did Carrie being in such a mood ruin your mood as well and put you in a mood? Did Carrie make the whole of Australia?
It's in a mood pandemic.
Was there a mood-demic?
A mood-demic.
Give us a call, 13-10-60.
What are you calling me, a cow?
Mood-demic, that's very good. Am I allowed to laugh at that one?
Good mood again.
Oh, we're back. The cure.
13-10-60, did Carrie's mood put you in a mood? Give us a call.
Carrie and
For
Tommy.
your Thursday Arvo, it is Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little. And are you in a mood now too?
Yes, we're talking about emotional contagion, where you can catch someone's mood just by being near them. And Bickers, we think maybe you've done a bit of this yesterday because you were in such a mood yesterday and when we kicked off the show, and we want to know if it affected all of Australia. Carrie.
Yes, I'm here.
Jeez, hasn't gotten better. Hi, what's up?
I was fine yesterday. I'm fine today. Was I?
What's up? How are you, Wazza?
Oh, I'm a bit better than yesterday.
Did you?
These are just going to be callers again that our producers have put through are going to pretend that I derailed their life yesterday.
You don't. Sorry, we've got Wazza here on the phone, and you're not even believing him.
No, I
now.
don't believe you, Wazza.
Wazza, were you heavily
Oh,
affected?
Carrie,
by
I'm almost getting into a bit of a mood now.
Yes, it's happening to me too. Was
Yeah,
I'm so sorry you've been put through that. Did it really ruin your afternoon yesterday?
It did, and the people I work with too. You know, it was just a big. Everyone went home absolutely in disgusting mood, and that was just
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Waz. Let's give Waz a $50.
Don't give. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to boost his
Boost his
mood a bit
mood,
because
yeah.
you ruined it yesterday.
Stephanie, back me up here.
You guys are absolutely full of it. She wasn't in a mood yesterday, and
Thank
you
you.
guys
Yes.
saying that she was in a mood put me in a mood
That's
of
it,
being
That's it,
irritated for
Stephanie.
her.
You caught
Thank you,
the
Stephanie.
mood. You
Right,
just said
but so
then you were in a mood.
No, because of you, not me.
But
Yeah,
Stephanie
it was
did
you
have
boys.
Yeah, but I got
You-
it off Carrie.
You didn't get it.
You didn't get anything off Carrie. You started it in the first place.
I'm starting to
accusing
catch
her of
some of
something.
I'm starting to catch some of yours.
Oh my God,
Stephanie.
Michelle's called up. Had to turn her down. Michelle, get stuffed.
Sisters are doing it for themselves. G'day, Crystal.
Hello, how you going?
Well, I'm a bit affected by Stephanie's mood, to be honest.
Well.
Did you get caught up and found yourself in the mood yesterday?
Look, controversially, I got caught up in the mood in a really good way because you guys absolutely G Carrie up and she's real. She bites, I get it, and a lot of us women do. But I think it's inspiring because then it means that she can stick up for herself and she always just sees the good in people.
So you're saying, Crystal, this is wonderful. So you're saying what I do is inspiring because I G Carrie up.
Not you.
Yeah, yes, because
Not
then
you.
I'm the catalyst.
You're an inspiration
I'm an inspiration.
to the nation.
That is. Thank you, Crystal, for pointing that.
Are we going to give Crystal some money? Let's give Crystal some money.
We only had 50 and was taking it.
No, give it to Crystal.
G'day, David.
Do you reckon David will get some?
G'day, David.
How you going?
Yeah, I've just found out I'm an inspiration to the nation. So
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, Carrie. Tommy, I actually agree with the crew.
yeah. Did you?
I felt that vibe there, mate. I'm actually a medium, and I work with a lot of different energies.
Yep. And so, how did you feel yesterday? Did you take on Carrie's mood?
No, I actually took on yours.
Oh, you were
I was about to tell
inspiring.
David he's full of.
Her vibration was like really high and still is now. And then I don't know, the vibration I got from you, like the negative chord.
Where should I be feeling the vibration, Dave? Because I'm not feeling any today.
Yeah, so you'll get because that's been released because I released it for you.
Oh, did you?
That's what I do. I do a lot of chord releasing.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Haven't had that for a while.
Carrie's mood's perked right up.
Carrie and Tommy.
For your Thursday, Arvo, it's Carrie and Tommy.
So I have something very, very exciting to announce. To mark 10 years since I've been doing Carrie's Beanies for Brain Cancer, we are bringing them back.
Guess who's back again?
Right here, right now. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, we're back again. I'm bringing sexy back. Once again,
The Beanies are back.
Today is the 1st of May, and May is Brain Cancer Awareness Month. For 2025, 10 years on from me starting my Carrie's Beanies for Brain Cancer, we are collaborating this year for the first time ever with DeCuba to bring you an incredible range of beanies. I've posted a pic of our first beanie, which is our women's beanie. It is a green colour this year.
It looks so good,
I
Carrie.
love it so much.
It looks
we
so
have
good.
a whole range. We've got like more of a unisex one that doesn't have a pom-pom that's like a grey marl. We've got a grey marl cap that's coming out. But we've also got a nod to the first ever beanie that I ever brought out.
Cool.
Which I think we only ever made maybe 10,000 of. We found this small little beanie distributor guy to help us make them, and they were black with 2 little black pom-poms, and we sold out within seconds. To think then years on we were selling 250,000 beanies in an hour on the project when we were doing our hour-long project specials for my foundation. 10 years on, we've got that double black pom-pom beanie coming back. The full range is on sale May 20 online, May 21st in stores. So this year you can go and also feel them, touch them, play with them, work out which one you love as well.
Yep.
All proceeds going to Carrie's Beanies for Brain Cancer. Also to help the Brain Cancer Centre, which we have founded, where groundbreaking research is happening right now. So put a little mark in your diary, a calendar alert for May 20. They will sell out quick every year. They go within hours. So jump on board May 20 and get behind the new beanie range.
Absolutely. Am I correct in saying, Carrie, that the Brain Cancer Centre are world leaders in working towards a cure for brain cancer?
Absolutely. They're collaborating with research institutes around the world. Our main mantra is about collaboration.
Yep.
And I believe we will find a cure. We do need way more money, though. I think everyone assumes when you say things like my initial plan was to raise $1 million, we've now raised close to $25 million for Carrie's Beanies for Brain Cancer. And I naively thought $1 million was going to make a difference. I'm sure people hear 25 million and think, oh, well, that's it. We don't need to do anything more, because that's a huge amount of money. Unfortunately, I've now discovered in the research world that's nothing is what's going to be needed to actually move the needle on survival rates in brain cancer. So please, May 20, put it in your diary. Get behind us.
Done.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
It's Carrie and Tommy.
And producer Sammy joins us now.
It says on the board, Sam's story. And I'll be honest, that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I was mulling over this for a few days, and I was like, we've got to do it. We've got to do it.
Okay.
But I went...
What happened?
It's just the
music?
end of the song.
Oh.
We're a commercial radio station. So
Sometimes we talk over the music.
Yeah.
I went to a
This
wedding...
isn't helping my nerves. You have got off on
This
the
isn't live.
wrong
This is
foot.
This is live?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
we're
You're
on.
on red.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm nervous.
Come on, don't be nervous.
Okay,
You're great at storytelling. What happened?
I know both these things can't happen at the same time, but shut up and tell your story.
I went to a wedding over the weekend up on the sunny coast. It was an incredible evening. A couple of old friends of mine.
Yeah.
And at the...
You have so many weddings.
Oh, I think it's
You're
just...
at that
I think I'm that age, yeah.
Yeah. Every weekend you're at a wedding. It's an expensive time, isn't it?
It is.
Actually, not for a guy. You just wear the same suit.
It is. Yes, I do.
Oh, my God. I had a wedding on the weekend, and I found out the depressing thing, none of my suits fit me.
Oh, that's
I
because you're
couldn't-
a fatty fat at the
That
moment.
is correct,
Yeah.
Carrie.
But you're going to be skinny
Is it the-
after the run.
Yes.
So
Good.
back to your story. Sorry. We were
yeah.
just helping it along.
Thank you, though. I'd probably needed it. We ended up having a great night, but around 10 p.m, the photographer of the evening decided to, park up shop and leave for the night, as they usually do. And that's kind of when the dance floor started really pumping.
Yep.
And I took it upon myself. There was a camera near the entrance, and I took it upon myself to pick up that camera.
Like a big, huge, photography camera, or a new,
it was big,
digi
but
camera? Or...
I wasn't sure. I don't know the details of it at the time. And then I picked it up. I started taking photos of the rest of the night. I took some great photos of the bride and groom's parents together, which was quite rare because they didn't really get along too well.
Oh, right.
Great ones of the guests, everything like that.
Because that's when the fun, everyone lets their hair down. That's where the fun pics come out.
It was the raw, authentic photos of the night.
Just a question about the parents not getting along too well. Do they know that, or have they just found out that on national radio right now?
The groom's dad told me.
Oh my God. I don't think you can go say that.
You were meant to say that. But hey, in great news for radio,
They're getting along
your
now.
story just got better.
Oh my God, you can't. Anyway, it's not
Anyway,
even
I'll
your
go back to my
family.
photography skills.
Okay, back
because
to
my
your photography
favourite
skills.
photo of the night was when everything wrapped up and all the guests formed one of those tunnel exits for
Oh,
the bride
yeah,
and
yeah.
groom.
Cute.
And I got on the floor. I took some amazing snaps of them. And then at the end of the night, another guest said, "Where are the photos?" And I said, "They're all in the film." And that was when I found out that it was a Polaroid camera. And I had been putting the film in backwards. And the
Hold
flash...
on, you had to feed a film in. That's how
You know-
old the camera
no,
was.
Polaroid. You know how you have to put the 10, it's
Oh.
usually 10, and you
Yeah.
have to clip the little
Yes.
thing
But
in.
you can't even close it if you put it on backwards.
Because I did. And I went through 3 or 4 films of 15, 20 photos. And
Of it
then-
all going in backwards.
But so
Yes.
the Polaroids were popping out the top.
No, nothing was coming out. I just thought it was a normal camera. I didn't know it was a Polaroid. And I thought I was finishing the films because I stopped clicking. And then I took the film out and I put it in a little box, which were all the films. There was 20 different films in there. So I was like, great. Anyway, the guest said to me, this book next to the film box is where all the Polaroids are going into for them to have memories from the night. And you have not taken a single photo.
Oh, my gosh.
But hold on. Wasn't your job?
No, it wasn't, but I did.
What?
I did get after a few bevies. I did put it on myself. I was like, guys, I've got.
But also,
this.
they
Oh,
put
so
the
no- so-
Polaroid camera there for everyone to use.
Yes.
And everyone else knew how to use
Oh,
it.
but because you had taken it over,
Yeah.
no one else
But
used it. So now they have no photos from 10 p.m.
and everyone saw flashes and stuff going, Sammy's killing it.
But also, everyone's got cameras. They've all got camera phones. Surely there's other people with photos.
Sammy,
Yeah.
someone, you're an idiot, but someone should have seen that there weren't Polaroids coming out.
I think everyone by that stage in the night, it was dark. Everyone was on the dance floor. They were like, Sam, he loves taking a photo because he's got 40,000 on his phone. Surely he can use a Polaroid
Also,
camera.
you'd look at Sam and think he's got it.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you know?
I was joking.
Did you know? So you didn't know they were Polaroid. So you thought they were just getting developed, and you'd have to take that film away.
So I've got a little 35mm camera
Yes,
myself,
yeah.
and it doesn't pop out like
Yeah,
a
you gotta
Polaroid.
go-
So I
go
was
get
like,
the
it
film
does the
developed.
same stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
the real
don't know.
kicker.
Yeah,
Can I
okay.
read the real kicker?
Yeah.
I got a text message from the bride
Oh, no.
2 days ago. This is a quote. Sam, the image of you on the floor capturing our human tunnel exit is burnt into my memory. I know you feel bad about not getting the photos on the night, but it is truly the thought that counts. And I felt
Worse or better?
worse.
Yeah, that should make you
Much
feel worse.
Yeah.
No,
Also, the fact that you're on the
I
ground with a
guarantee you.
camera that doesn't do anything.
excellent.
And you're
Just acting.
lying on the ground. And that's like the fourth lot of film that you've been through.
And Polaroid film is expensive too.
It is.
Yeah, but if it wasn't popping out, I think you'd just be able to use that.
No, I think he
No,
said
it
it's
was
burnt
still-
the
Also,
background.
lose your
It was-
own film camera that
it-
night.
it-
Oh no! So it makes things worse. I lost my own camera that weekend, and I had
That's
just finished
payback.
the film.
Didn't you
You
smash
just
your
shouldn't
phone
take
as
on
well?
I
other
also
people's
cracked my
jobs, you
phone
know?
screen. I had a bad.
You
except for the
shouldn't do
wedding.
other people's jobs.
Do you want to do?
You know,
do
like
wanna
you should
do-
just stay in your lane sometimes.
you
And
want-
you're not the photographer.
What's the
You're not a
lane?
wedding
But
photographer.
they left at 10. Someone needed to fill out the next couple of hours.
Sure, not your problem, though.
So that's on the bride
Also-
and groom for not paying them till 12. Right?
Oh, now you're having
gonna
a go at
turn
them.
on the bride
So you've
is a
outed that their parents
bold.
don't get along, and now you've also had a go at them for your
You
problem.
know what? I didn't even want to be there.
It's a desperate end.
Don't ask him
Try and
what he
get
wants
an
calls
out
to
of-
be because I assured him we'd work out the calls because he was stressed because he
I've
didn't
got
have.
one.
Well, I
When
was
did
gonna-
the bride and groom let you down?
No.
Oh my God, you can't.
What about when trying to help backfired?
That's
Would
a
you
great
like that?
idea.
When did you?
You know how to do radio,
when
Sammy.
did-
That's how you do radio.
When did you try and help and think in your heart of hearts? I mean, you didn't have to be on the floor taking photos, but when did you try and help and think honestly, I'm doing such a great job
And you
here?
made matters worse.
Yeah, give us a call.
Carrie and Tommy.
It's Carrie and Tommy.
And we are talking on 131060 about when did you try and help and it go absolutely tits up because producer Sammy was at a wedding and he thought, oh, here's a camera. I'll take lots of shots
Well,
here because the photographer's
official
left.
photographer had
Yeah.
left, so he was trying to help.
So he took photos for 2 hours, including lying on the floor to get the perfect angles. I'm going to find out it was a Polaroid camera. He did not know that and he'd been putting the film in wrong and all the film was ruined and there was no photos in the end. Correct, Sammy?
Correct.
G'day, Rebecca.
Hello.
What happened?
My friend, her coolant was low in her car, and having an ex-boyfriend who was a mechanic, I thought, that's an easy fix. Go grab the coolant. I'll help you put the coolant in your car.
Yes.
In my car, the coolant is on the left-hand side, and without looking, I unscrewed the cap, and I'm chugging it in. It's like a 5-liter, 5-liter bottle, and it just keeps going and going and going. I'm like, this is a lot of coolant. And I looked at it and I put the cap back on. I'm like, oh, yeah, we've done it. I've accidentally put coolant in the oil.
Oh, no.
Oh, what happens when you do that?
Pardon me?
What happens when you do that?
Oh, well, no, I'm not really a mechanic, but I know it's not good.
Yeah.
Please
tell me,
Rebecca, I don't appreciate your attitude.
Rebecca, please tell me you didn't start the car.
No, I was a bit scared to tell her, just because I guess, what kind of happened. And I don't know, I was like, oh, I guess I will tell her. And I told her, and I helped her pay for the tow truck and the service to get it all crossed out and everything. Yeah, I felt so bad. It was, a couple of $100 to get that one fixed.
I could tell, Carrie, I can give you a rough idea of what might happen. It'd screw your whole engine because it'd pump coolant through as oil, which lubricates, but the water won't. So
just as well Beck spotted it before she drove anywhere. You saved the day, Beck.
I did. I saved everything, but I also made it worse. But that's
Are you lying in bed, Beck?
No, I'm actually on my way to my second job. So
because you sound like you're like very chill, and it's like coming in and out. It's like you're just kicking back,
No, I'm just parking on the side of the road.
it's quite calming.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, thank you.
Good on you, Beck.
What do you do for a job, Beck?
What do I do? I'm just a receptionist at a physio clinic, but I'm also working at a gym. Shout out to Anytime Fitness. Yeah.
Such enthusiasm.
I just can't imagine my personal trainer being like, oh, maybe do some reps, I guess. Maybe
Don't push
pop
yourself
on
too
that.
much.
Pop on that ski erg, would you? Yeah, no, that's good.
Do another one if you want.
Am I going to get fitter? I don't know. I'm not a mechanic.
Desiree, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. When did you try to save the day and you made it worse?
Well, we didn't actually try and save the day. When my husband and I got married, a professional photographer who was a friend of my parents said he would do our photography for our wedding as a gift.
Yeah.
And they all had a lovely time, party. He was taking photos, did everything. And about a month later, we said to him, have you got the photos ready yet? And he's like, yep, they're coming. And then a couple of more weeks later, he went out with my mum and dad, had a few drinks, and he said, actually, about those photos, he said, I forgot to put spool in. So we don't have any photos of the wedding at all.
Is spool film?
Yeah, so it was the old, before the digital, it was a spool that had to go in and then you develop the photos.
But how did he know? Because on those films, you only get, 30 photos or something. How did he not realise, hey, I've taken 400 photos here?
I suppose he had that much to drink. He was just clicking away.
And the worst thing, Desiree, is because it would have been so long ago, it wouldn't have been like now when everyone else has got photos on their camera phone, like on their iPhone as well.
They were so expensive, so people did them very sparingly. So we have one or two blurry, funny little things on the side, but otherwise we have no professional photos of our wedding whatsoever.
I mean, the good thing is...
Desiree, are you still together?
We are 25 years. We are.
Oh,
Yes.
congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. So Sam actually didn't do very bad of a job. He was trying, but at least they'll get some professional ones at the end of that, so don't feel bad.
Well said, Desiree. Thank you. I don't feel bad at all. They're making me feel bad.
Thank you, Desiree. Appreciate it. G'day, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, living the dream. When did you try and help, but it went backwards?
Well, it wasn't me, it was my husband.
Mhm.
So he used to work for a large, reputable hardware warehouse.
Yep.
And he used to manage the night fill team, so in charge of running the stock,
Yep.
offloading it off the trucks, filling the shelves. And he was off for the weekend, and we were in there shopping one Saturday morning, and he saw there'd been a huge delivery out the back. So he thought, I'll just jump on and help the weekend team. Jumped on the forklift to unload the truck and reversed the forklift straight through the roller door of the back of the warehouse so that they couldn't lock the whole store the entire weekend. So they had to hire security 24 hours
Oh my
for the whole
God.
weekend
Oh my
because he
God.
thought he'd just help him out. And he exposed the whole store. So,
And probably
so it's a
cost
bit
them
awkward.
money for the security and the.
A bit awkward Monday morning.
Stop helping, you know.
Is that our message?
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your drive home this afternoon, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
I don't know where to start with this story. There's tragedy, there's heartbreak, there's hope. There's a beautiful woman at the centre of this story who joins us in the studio now. I'm going to welcome her first. It's Kellie Finlayson. Welcome.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Normally we would give a bit of an intro where we tell your story before you come in, but I think you're better off telling your story in your words. Tell us who you are and the journey that you have been on.
Yeah, it's been that's okay. It's been a long for almost years, so I probably don't even really know where to start, but very long story short, I was 3 months postpartum when my husband made a joke about needing a portaloo anytime we went anywhere in the car because of the frequency of going to the toilet. That ended in a colonoscopy, which ended in having stage 4 terminal bowel cancer. I've had several surgeries, only one just recently 6 weeks ago on my lungs to get rid of some metastatic mets in my lungs.
So it spread to your lungs?
Yeah, so it spread it like obviously very soon after my diagnosis. We found that it already had spread. But so now I'm left with one met in my left lung that we obviously haven't attacked yet because you can't actually operate on 2 lungs at once. That would obviously mean you're not breathing. So that's where I'm at now. But it's been obviously a lot in between all of that.
So, Kelly, obviously, I mean, I can see you, but for the people who can't, you're very young.
29.
You do 29.
In my 20s, I go with. Yeah.
So you got diagnosed. Was this
25.
your 25?
Yeah.
That's unless I'm really wrong. That's so young for bowel cancer, isn't it?
Well, that's I guess the assumption, but obviously cancer doesn't discriminate, and I'm proof of that.
But also, isn't that interesting? Because I've been having all these colonoscopies because I've got this polyposis syndrome. And when I was talking to this woman the other day post-colonoscopy, remember I was saying on air, she said that they're seeing more and more young people presenting with bowel cancer. It's between 20 and 35. It's become a very, very common thing for people to get bowel cancer.
Well,
so something's going on.
The thing is that I probably had it for 7 years before diagnosis or longer. So if I had have gone 7 years ago, obviously I would have got a polyp removed and been on my way. But people are presenting now with polyps due to all of the conversations that are happening. So then 7 years later, they could have presented when they were 40, 50, whatever it may be. And then obviously it being too late. But the earlier they get it, the better it is.
You joked about your partner talking about how you needed to carry a portable loo with you everywhere you went. Your partner is Port Adelaide player Jeremy Finlayson. At the time, you just had little Sophia. How is that when you've got the highs of a newborn baby, the devastation of a terminal illness diagnosis? What does your relationship, family life look at in those months?
Yeah, it was tough. And we probably didn't actually open our eyes to what we were going through for a solid year and a half there. Home was our sanctuary. Home was our safe place. Nothing was different at home unless obviously I was in bed rotting. But we didn't bring, like a workplace, I guess, you don't bring your work home and you have a better family life, right? If you don't bring home your sickness, obviously I was bringing home my sickness, but if you don't bring home that conversation, home was so normal to us. Like, yes, there were days that I wasn't able to get out of bed. Yes, there were days that I wasn't able to parent. Yes, there were days that I was really, really sick. But for the most part, the conversation was always so positive. It was allowing me to be the person that I was with the disease rather than the disease invading me as a person.
Am I right in my understanding that you were told you only had months to live?
I didn't get a prognosis. I actually had to sign some paperwork for, basically they told me I was eligible for my life insurance, which was wild to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, having the conversation obviously was bizarre. Yeah.
So you didn't take the life insurance?
No.
And so you're told it's a terminal illness at the time of diagnosis, but not given an indicator of how long, which sometimes, I mean, it's just a guess.
It's worked for me anyway, yeah.
Do you have that conversation in your home, or are you just ignoring that and just going, we're just going to beat it, we're going to just live each day? How does that
We were given the
work?
stage 4 in the initial diagnosis, and it wasn't for a while until I Googled what that meant that we realised that was terminal, and then I had those conversations with my medical professionals. Obviously, they're not going to tell a 20-something-year-old that you've got a terminal diagnosis unless they're, like, concerned of you obviously passing. So we didn't have that terminal conversation for a really long time. I relapsed I think it was 14 months prior to my original diagnosis in my lungs. And that's when I was told that my best option for care was palliative care. So that was a word that Jeremy had never heard, which is funny to look back on now. But in the time I was explaining, as the person, I guess, facing the palliative care, explaining that to my husband what that meant. So that was the first time that he saw his life without me, or Sophia's life without a mum, and that was probably the time that our world crumbled.
Kellie, you've shared this journey publicly both on socials and on your podcast. Up next, we'd love to ask what that's been like. So stay with us.
Carrie and Tommy.
Carrie and Tommy driving you home this afternoon, and we are still joined by Kellie Finlayson, whose debut novel, There Must Be More, Finding Purpose in the Face of the Unimaginable, is out now.
You have been very open about this online on your social media and being a public face and being married to Jeremy. How have you found that side of it? Has that been cathartic for you? Do you regret it? Are you so glad you did it? Like, I can imagine it would come with pros and cons, that experience.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting, especially, like you said, being married to a footballer that might lose someone a multi. That sometimes I'm the one getting the egged house because of it, even though he's, just played a game in Sydney, but that's okay.
You actually got an egged house?
Oh, multiple times. We get the people
Really?
after a good win, we get the car out the front with the music going, Sophia in the lounge room going.
My God.
It's a really great time being a footballer's partner in Adelaide, of all places. But
so
then
you cop it if he has a
week
bad...
in, week out. Yes, which is so fine.
No.
Personal. No, I
it's not
can
fine.
cop that because I'm not the one that lost. Whereas when it's more personal and I'm being compared to con women, or if I'm being
Con women, what do you mean?
I don't say her name on air anymore. I don't think she deserves the limelight, but I'm being compared to people that have pretended to have the illness because of the way I look and the I guess, journey I've taken with alternate therapies, etc. Or if I'm being told that I'm, look too well to have a disease, or if I'm basically lying because I couldn't possibly be sick looking the way I do, then it hits home. But I've started speaking out on it. I've stopped letting them have the power in my DMs, and I've just put their names online or contacted their workplaces or whatever it may be.
It must be awful.
Oh my God.
And I can't imagine how it must make you feel.
Mm.
It is flattering.
Oh, yeah, when I get told I look well, I'm like, thanks. What did I look like a year ago when I was in bed? Because you told me I looked well then.
How dare these people?
Oh, some people
who have
just
a terminal illness.
Yeah.
Get
some people think that their opinions really matter. Yeah.
Oh my God. So then that's an interesting thing now, contacting their workplace and in some ways shaming them. For a lot of people, they wouldn't
expect that because they don't think that I'm a person. They think I'm, this online personality and don't have a heart and soul, apparently, according to the people that think they can speak that way.
And then what happens when you do that? What's the reaction from the workplace or the people once you then...
Well, people get stood down, especially if it's a government agency. Yeah, it's really actually quite easy to find who these people are behind the fake accounts.
Wow.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
If they keep it in my DMs and I keep it in their workplace.
But it's so tough. Not just for yourself, but anyone. I mean, Carrie's included in this when she lost her partner to brain cancer. Anyone who has a an illness or something terminal, something horrific that you would never wish upon anybody happens to them, there's almost sometimes a responsibility that you then have to advocate for, making sure other people don't go through the same thing. But you're already living it. Like, it's hard. It's not like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like, so not only
have to do anything.
Yes, not only am I really sick,
Yeah.
I've now got to get out there and encourage other people to not.
Yeah, well, I don't have to. And I think that's the thing that I'm, I guess, congratulated for. It's the fact that I have the best card in the deck. I can quite literally use it or play it whenever I want. And don't get me wrong, I only really play it when it's bed, bath and dinner time. Like, that's Jeremy's job now. I have cancer.
Yeah.
But I could use it and I could shy away. I could lay in bed, but I would still have cancer. So what's the point?
Yeah.
So you mentioned before, and I excuse me that I didn't understand that there had been that backlash, which just seems so insane. But you mentioned the alternative therapies. So is that because people believe that which clearly you're doing traditional medicine as well. You've just spoken about the chemo you're on. People don't like the idea that you're talking about alternative medicine, or they think it's dangerous. What is the concern people have?
I think, and this is just an assumption, but I think people don't like women speaking out on things that are controversial, which I don't know why my health is so controversial, but I get it. But then also they don't like women that succeed.
Right.
Which I think, given my, I guess, position in my health, I've done everything in my power to thrive and be as successful as I possibly can. Not for me in any sense of at all. It's always for either my daughter or the people that I guess I influence, because I don't ever want to be a dangerous, influential person.
Of course. How does your oncologist feel about the natural remedies that you're trying?
I'm incredibly blessed that I have, after lots of research, found an oncologist that is great. And he, as long as it's not going to affect the treatment, obviously, that he prescribes me, then he's go for it. Yeah.
Right.
Kelly, I think what you've just said is 100% right about women succeeding. And I think we see that in all forms of public, whether it's from our politicians to anyone. I think women are judged far more harshly than men. I'm interested, when you go into the DMs that you get, are they, and you find out who the people are they all men?
I would say probably 80%, yeah. But then I don't go into my DMs anymore.
No,
which,
you don't give them that
which
power.
then gives the whole point of my profile or my platform was to, help others, give them a voice. But now I can no longer answer the people that really need my, response, because I'm traumatized by my DMs. Yeah, which is a really hard place to be. And I'm really lucky that I do have the podcast platform that, I have a co-host that's not scared of them. So if someone does reach out on there, they are getting the response. It's just not from me.
Little Sophia and Jeremy, you have a whole family, you have a life outside of your cancer as well. What's ahead for you? What's the next few months, years? What are you wanting to do? What's your passion?
Yeah, well, I've only really just started looking further than those 12-week blocks. So that's kind of been really hard to come to terms with, like booking holidays in December, only being in April. I'm like, am I going to be okay? Am I going to have to be in hospital? Like, that was just never an option, 3 years ago. But yeah, we do have big plans. Sophia's a massive Disney girl. We will probably go on the Disney cruise every year that it's here now. We want to get to America, but it's also so hard to take a 3-year-old to America. That's just the only place I haven't been yet. Traveling's great. It's fantastic. But then it's also the more mundane things like Sophia's first day of kindy that I definitely wasn't supposed to be a part of, or like watching her graduate in a swimming lesson, like swimming with no floaties. She's 3, riding a bike with no training wheels. I'm like, girl, thank you for being so advanced and letting me like experience this, but I should have never seen this. So yeah, it's the little things that get me.
Yeah, that's got me too.
Oh, sorry.
Don't apologise, Kelly. We think you're amazing. Your novel, There Must Be More, Finding Purpose in the Face of the Unimaginable, is out now. You've also got a podcast, the Shit Talkers podcast. If you want to check it out, Kellie Finlayson. Hey, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Happy Thursday, Arvo. It's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
With CommBank Yellow, you score even more. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. It's their way of thanking you for banking with CommBank. Ongoing eligibility and T's and C's apply.
Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
Now that we've got Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
How good's this? Because
Sorry, I need to cough.
I'll try again. How good's this, Carrie? A year's worth of free fuel.
Yes, we're going to be calling someone right now for them to have the chance to get an entire year's worth of free fuel.
Imagine the financial stress that would ease just a bit, just knowing there's one less thing that you got to
weekly
worry
bill
about.
to pay. Yes, and petrol is so expensive at the moment.
We are going to punch in the phone number. The person who answers, all you have to do if you've entered is wait for your phone to ring, and then when it does, you have to pick up, and the first word out of your mouth has to be yellow. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Hello?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh.
Chantel.
I didn't know it was today.
Oh.
It could be any
It
day.
could be any day. Oh, Chantel.
Oh, my God.
That's all right.
Sorry,
You
I was
baby.
expecting a call from my doctor, and I thought that's what it was.
I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope that goes better than this one, Chantel.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Anyway, if we had the choice, but the T's and C's of the competition, we can't sway anything. Chantel, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Enter
sorry,
again.
Chantel.
Hopefully we'll speak to you again. And
Yeah, we're doing this for weeks, Chantel, so re-enter. Okay,
Okay, I'll give it my best go. Oh, my God, I'm just spewing right now.
it's okay. You haven't lost anything, Chantel. You just haven't won anything. All the best with the
That's
doctor.
one way to look at it.
Yeah. Thanks,
All right,
Chantel.
let's make the next call. Oh, damn.
The heartbreak in her voice.
I know. Oh.
And then when she said a doctor, oh, jeez, really? Okay, next person.
Hello.
Yay! G'day, Troy. It's Carrie and Tommy here.
Hey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, living the dream. And what's great news for you is you are now in the running to win a year's worth of free fuel. There is only 2 other people involved, so you have a 1 in 3 chance at this point of winning a year's worth of free fuel.
Oh, my God, that is bloody awesome.
Well done. 'Cause
You're
we just-
insane, Troy. I'm just reading you've got 6 kids.
Yeah, mate, yeah, it's a modern-day Brady bunch, 4 to me and 2 to the partner. So, yeah, it's pretty hectic, especially when they're all doing sports all around the countryside. We clock up the Ks pretty quickly.
So a year's worth of free fuel would be pretty great at this point.
Oh, mate, it would be unbelievable. It'd change things dramatically.
Well, you're one step closer, Troy. We will be speaking to you again and hopefully giving you a year's worth of free fuel.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot, hey.
With CommBank Yellow, you score even more recognition for you and benefits for your business too. It's their way of thanking you for banking with CommBank. Ongoing eligibility and T's and C's apply.
Carrie and Tommy.
Driving you home from 3 till 6, it's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Do you remember? When was that?
When was that?
When was that? When was that? When did that happen? The Archives of the World's Lives edition. Do you remember?
Now, of course, because this used to be when we'd look back on a moment from our past.
Yes.
And we'd tell the other one and Australia about it. And then I came across a news story, that I knew, but I was telling you about it. And you're like, this is fascinating. I didn't know. Maybe we should do this on the show. And so now it's become a segment where we look back at big news stories that I find fascinating that potentially people know nothing about.
Okay, great.
So this one is all the way back in 1986. Do you know anything
I
about...
was 6 at the time.
Do you know anything about Balloon Fest in
I focus
Cleveland?
on how old I am. About what?
Balloon Fest in Cleveland.
No.
To be fair, you would have been in Colorado at that time.
Oh
so you
my
actually would have
God,
been-
that is true.
Yes. Well, it was a fundraising event that happened in Cleveland, Ohio, in the US, in which they wanted to release 1.5 million helium balloons into the sky at once, breaking a world record.
1.5 million.
Look at the
How
mob.
much space
Look at
is
the
that
mob.
taking up?
It's unbelievable when you see the footage.
I don't even know how many you could count. Who's counting them?
What do you mean?
Is
It's
that-
not one person, I don't think.
It's not even
It's just
10
a big
people.
job.
How are you
Yeah.
counting 1.5 million balloons?
So you're calling them wires.
No, anyway, so that photo was epic, by the way.
I know.
But the world's really changed, hasn't it? Because you're not allowed to do balloon releases
Oh, no, the
anymore.
pollution's
Unless
not
they're
good.
I wonder why, Jesse.
Because the
maybe-
balloons end back in the ocean and hurt the animals.
Have we forgotten how to do radio?
Oh, what's happened?
I'm just about to bring you the story.
Oh, sorry.
Lest we
Okay.
skip ahead from a story from 1986.
You know, yesterday we talked about how people's moods are contagious.
Yeah.
Your mood's really taken a turn.
Yeah, that was fair. I did deserve that. It was a little too defensive.
You can be a little bitch at times.
That's also fair. Yeah. So anyway, everyone was pretty excited about it, particularly Cleveland locals.
Something that has been in the planning stages since March of this year. So a lot of technical research and research through the city permits. It's endless. It's absolutely astonishing to try and get something like this off, let alone waiting for good weather.
So this is a big plus for Cleveland.
Oh, it's something that, they predicted 70% chance of showers today, and I think this is a prime example of what United Way is trying to do in terms of saying, it's Cleveland, it's your time. It's time to say yes. It's time to say it is a happening city. We are on the move. It's no longer the butt of jokes or anything.
It's a happening city. We are on the
Doesn't even
move.
make sense.
This is going to put Cleveland on the map.
Yes.
And he was saying about the weather because he said they were predicted bad weather. and
70% chance of rain.
Yeah, but the sun's coming out, and that is a sign from the gods that this should go ahead and put Cleveland, as I said, on
I
the
didn't
map.
realise Cleveland had a bad rap and needed a PR image change. At that
Apparently,
point.
because I've watched a lot about this news story, apparently a lot of people were saying it's a dirty city by a river. And so they were going to show not just the US, but the rest of the world, oi, Cleveland is sick. And so then came the launch.
3, 2, 1. Here they go. Lift off.
Amazing. And the fan is up, and there they go, John.
The Guinness Book of World Records has just been broken in Cleveland. Over 1,500,000 balloons going up in the air at this very, very moment. Look at the cloud demo. We did it. We did it, John. There it goes.
We did it, everybody.
How cool. That would have looked beautiful.
And then you won't believe.
What's happened?
You won't believe
What's happened?
So the weather that they were talking about, apparently a reporter noticed something about the weather and the way the balloons were behaving.
The balloons at first drifted south, but then the wind changed and they moved back across the downtown area and started descending onto Burke Lakefront Airport and filled the Cleveland Harbor.
So
They started coming down.
So they said they checked for rain, but what they didn't realise was there was a high pressure system coming through, and the high pressure system pushed all of the balloons down.
Oh my God. 1.5 million
into
balloons.
the airport? It shut the airport. But also, two fishermen had gone missing. The balloon started to fill the harbour. So it
my God.
made people literally couldn't see where they were trying to get their boats, right? Because there are literally balloons everywhere.
Millions of balloons coming into their faces.
And so a report goes out that there are these two fishermen missing. So the emergency services start trying to find them.
It's been an exhausting search for these Coast Guardsmen. They've been out on the water most of the day looking for two 40-year-old Cleveland men, Skip Sullivan and Raymond Broderick. They went out fishing about an hour before last night's heavy storm blew through.
That big balloon launch in Cleveland today is one of the things that's making this search so tough for the Coast Guard. Can you imagine trying to find somebody floating out here or even spotting a life jacket with all these balloons on the water?
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack here, because you're looking for more or less a head or an orange life jacket.
God.
Here you have a couple 100,000 orange balloons.
So then...
They needed some needles to pop them is what they needed.
Yes. Well,
So do they land full? I would have thought most of them would have popped on the way down. Interesting.
they were later found drowned, those two men.
Oh, my God.
The organisers then faced lawsuits seeking millions of dollars in damages, and costs overrun put the event at a huge loss. Balloons were found as far away as Ontario. And
Oh, my
in Canada,
God.
yeah. And even spooked a prized Arabian horse, which led to further lawsuits.
Oh.
They created a huge environmental issue with balloons littering the area, impacting wildlife. It took over a year to clean up.
Oh. But did it put Cleveland on the map?
It did.
I mean, we're talking about it now 50 years later.
Yes.
40. 50?
How old are you?
44. So 38 years later.
Carrie and Tommy.
I wish we could get to the bottom of why, as humans, we seem to have this innate hatred of women so much. Like it is when women succeed, we are so quick to cut them down. As soon as they're having a weak moment, everyone's so quick to pounce. I've been following all this Katy Perry stuff lately, and sure, there's been amusing moments of her 2-second trip to space and all that happened around that and people saying, leave her up there. And then there's, Katy Perry's, criticism of her latest tour and the choreography not being up to scratch. There's obviously been criticism of Katy Perry and her work with Dr. Luke, who obviously had the allegations with Kesha. There's been a lot of Katy Perry hate in the world, and her fans have come out to defend her. Her fans have come out strong. She's coming down under soon. She's on this world tour at the moment. I can't imagine how you go on a world tour when you feel like there's a tide against you, but she's there and she's fronting up. And her fans put an emotional message on a billboard in Times Square.
Yep.
So they bought a billboard and it said, "Congratulations on the opening week of your tour. We are so proud of you and your magical journey, and we love you to the moon and back. Know that you are safe, seen and celebrated. We'll see you around the world. This is just the beginning." Which is a beautiful sentiment, and
very nice.
You would wonder whether she'll even see it, whether she'll care. She has seen it, and she does care, and she's done this very, very long Instagram post, which I'm not going to read you all of, but it's obviously very much connected with her. And she said, "Please know I'm okay. I've done a lot of work around knowing who I am, what is real and what's important to me. My therapist said something years ago that's been a game changer. No one can make you believe something about yourself that you don't already believe about yourself. And if I ever have any feelings about that, then it's an opportunity to investigate the feelings underneath it." She said, "What's real is seeing your faces every night, singing in unison, reading your notes, feeling your warmth." And she said that she often finds people to lock eyes with when she's doing her concerts, because in that moment she realised that both of them are there for the right reason, and she finds just looking at one person incredibly healing in a sea of other people rather than just looking out to the crowds. And she's gone on to saying that she's, going to get back up and go on and continue to play. And she said, "Somehow through my battered and bruised adventure, I keep looking to the light. And in that light, a new level unlocks." And so we're going to welcome her if she comes into our country.
Yep.
And get behind her, because that's what we do best. And, I just think it's really lovely to see people come together for someone that they obviously care about. And it's a reminder that we can joke about somebody and their adventures, but they are a real person behind it all, and it must be full on having that much criticism leveled at you.
What are we going to get on?
Let's get a bit of Katy Perry raw on.
Carrie and Tommy.
Good Thursday afternoon. It's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
It's time for Bickmore's Bits.
Here we go now.
Sorry, I've got an Uncle Toby's muesli bar caught in the back of my throat.
Clunk. Is that a clunk?
Is that a paid endorsement?
No kickbacks.
Oh,
not
remove
yet.
the ding.
I remember going to school back in the day, and we didn't have all the options we had, and we had Uncle Toby's muesli bars, and I was always a crunchy apricot girl.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I always wanted roll-ups, and you'd end up with a muesli bar.
Oh, I never got roll-ups.
Never got roll-ups.
No.
Mm.
Anyway, speaking of food, you know how Dwayne Johnson has revealed before about his diet, the reason he looks so muscly and lean.
Well, I just see about his cheat days.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his cheat days?
They're the ones he usually posts.
Yeah.
So he doesn't usually post like his day-to-day what he eats, but he has the cheat day. Like, how gym freaks often have a cheat day where they can eat whatever they want.
And what does he eat on his cheat day?
Oh, it's so much food. It'll be like 4 steaks, 2 burgers.
Oh my God.
Like
huge
pancakes up to here with ice cream all over it.
Wow, yum. It'd almost be worth having the boring other days just for that cheat day.
And then, I only know one other person that does cheat days. And sorry, I don't know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but I know one person who's done cheat days, and he had a heart attack. So
who was that? Someone you know personally?
Dilrook.
Oh, Jai Singer.
Yeah, he used to always
the
post
comedian.
about his cheat days. And
That's
then,
right.
And then one of his cheat days was in hospital.
Well, Dwayne "The Rock" has spoken before about his diet is mostly 40-50% protein. So he starts the day with heaps of protein. Then at 10 a.m. he has like more eggs and more rice and more chicken and more go on. And then dinner he has more chicken and more chicken and more chicken. And then the day goes on. It's just a lot of chicken, right? Anyway, when he was on Saturday Night Live, the star Mikey Day has revealed that he watched a behind-the-scenes interaction with Dwayne Johnson and never realised that he's got a chicken guy. So apparently there's a guy that follows Dwayne around and just knocks him on the head, knocks him on the shoulder every now and then and says, "Hey, Dwayne, sorry to interrupt, but it's time to eat some chicken," and then feeds him protein because he's got to keep up his protein throughout the day.
Guy.
So he's a chicken guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Do you
even
remember when
know
I
that
went
was
to
a
that
job.
pub, when I went to that pub in Bar, and I've spoken about this before,
yes.
and Chris Hemsworth was there. It was a party.
Yes.
and he rocked up with one of those camping tins.
Yes.
And he
Yeah.
opened it, and it was just full of poached chicken. And while we all had like schnitties,
Yeah.
he had poached chicken.
Did he
I
have a
reckon he's
chicken
got
guy,
a chicken
or
guy
was he
too.
carrying in his own chicken?
He's his own chicken guy.
Do you know, I think I made one of my braver jokes of my life to Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Did you?
Yes, I just done an interview with him. I was in Hong Kong to promote his movie Skyscraper. Bless you, Carrie.
I'm not well.
And I'd finished my interview, and I was walking out, and he was eating a whole tray of sushi. And
Dwayne?
Yes, and it was kind of, I'd just seen him
Dwayne's such
in
a
the
funny
corner of
name.
my eye. He was a few metres away. And so as I walked out, I said loudly to the producer I was with, God, I thought he was going to be nice, but he was a real asshole. And then...
Was he? Was he
then
not nice? We've interviewed him. He was fabulous.
I was joking. And then he was wonderful. And then I took 2 steps and I turned around and he literally had sushi and he was staring at me and I started laughing and he used a curse word, but he goes, you funny mother. And then, and I was like,
That's a fun story.
Yeah.
Remember when we had him and Emily Blunt on to promote The Jungle Cruise?
Yes.
That movie, and it went so X-rated.
Yes.
The two of them
Mm.
together created a lot of X-rated content, not
yes.
in the normal way, but in mid-interview.
Yes, there was a lot of
That doesn't sound quite right.
Yeah,
That's
chat
right.
from Disney after that, I think.
If you want to see, I think, the most shocking video I've seen today online, it is the moment a tourist has mistaken a crocodile for being a statue. So a 29-year-old visitor to a zoo in the Philippines thought there was a 15-foot crocodile reptile statue in an enclosure, climbed over the chain link fence, waded through the water, pulled out the cell phone and was grinning when suddenly this fully grown female croc started charging towards the man, sinking her fangs into his arm. You see this tourist writhing around in pain as the animal's jaws clamp around his arms. This crocodile flipped him over, I reckon, for 30 minutes this video goes on, and it's just a woman just yelling on the top of the video, filming it, because you got to film it, you know, alive, alive, because the person is still alive for 30 minutes in this croc enclosure. Yeah, they did the death roll. Like, it almost looks like they're dancing, like doing a routine together, because they're going over. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean because they're over one side, then they're over the other. It's almost like you're watching the scene from the movie, and it is a real life moment.
And
he received more than 50 stitches, and he is okay somehow.
no arm or leg missing or anything?
I don't think
Did
so.
he get the shot?
What
Yeah,
shot?
great question.
Oh, the selfie shot.
Yeah.
No, but the other lady's selling the 30-minute video online for a lot of money.
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye. Carrie and Tommy love a good deal, and CommBank Yellow has plenty. Cashbacks, discounts, and exclusive deals. Just for banking with CommBank. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
You can be a little bitch at times.
That's also fair.